Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read, and I also pulled 12 cards just so we have an idea of what the signs are today. I did pull them with my other deck, so they are upright and reversed in that deck. But the Divine Masculine read is as I usually do it with the Syrian Starseed and the other clarifying decks. Some amazing messages have been coming through and being confirmed. I told you last week or the week before in my meditation I had seen 3 masters stand up and give me a standing ovation, and I was getting confirmation again yesterday that the people who are resonating with this have definitely graduated and mastered their journey for this point, and that this has to do with the Lion's Gate where I told you all of the masculines would be released at the gate. This is kind of like that kind of a refresher period, you know, with the retrogrades pulling back and then full momentum forward as of Lionsgate 8-8. I have some more information at the end of the read, so I'll get to it as it's written down in the read, but definitely some more information about that. So if it doesn't resonate with you, don't worry. It just has to do with the different phases of the journey. So everybody's coming in, like I told you, everyone's coming into union by the Olympics. That's the message that I got. So no matter what it is, if you're ready to be in union, you shouldn't be worrying about the timing of it at this point, okay? I also confirmed, which came up in the read again today, I was getting 4 + 1. So of the monad twins, so within your monad of 6 and 6, the masculine and the feminines, that 2 unions are coming in while the third union grounds for you. So they don't come into the union at the same time as you. So 2 couples come into union. So it may be someone you and someone you know who you're very close to as far as twin flames. And then the 5th party who's not in union yet grounds those 2 couples, so then you guys can acclimate, so then when you're acclimated, they can then go into union. So no fears, okay? And it doesn't matter, it'll make sense to you anyway, because the people who are grounding are not, they know they're not ready to go to union right this moment anyway. So it's not for anyone to worry about. And if none of this resonates with you, then it's not meant for you at this time. So that's okay. This is a general read for the Divine Masculines. I know it's a lot of Divine Feminines out there. It's the Divine Masculine within all of us, so especially those feminines with a lot of masculine, this will directly affect you. And again, take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? So getting into this, was there anything else I wanted to tell you before I start? Oh, the power went out just for a minute yesterday at 9:36 p.m. on East Coast. So the 9 and the 36 is the 369 plus 36 is 9, 6 + 3 is 9, and that's the 10 of Wands, which is the carrying of the weight of the world upon your shoulders. So the definition of that changed for me. That came up in the read, so I'll get to that in a minute. But it's also about, you know, dropping your burdens now. It's time to release. So there was like a reset with that power outage yesterday. For me and anyone who resonates within my soul group, that will be true. And then there's some interesting stuff that came up with the 12 sign read that I pulled just now. So I'll get to that at the end, so for those of you who are interested. So I'll do the masculine read first. It was done from 9:59 to 10 o'clock. 59 was also coming up significant for the masculines today. It's coming up as the card in front of you as how the masculine sees himself today. Excuse me, just 1 minute. Looking for my pointer. So yeah, 9:59, so you can't see it right now, but I will when I change the view of the picture. But so right here, this little corner here is the 5 of Swords, or the 5 of Orbs, excuse me. And I was just running, so if I need to take a lot of breaths, it's because I'm still trying to catch my breath. So he is the 5 of Swords, and that is upright energy, but it's kind of in a positive way today, so we'll get there when we get to that point. And just before we start, the cards over here, this is the Page of Cups, this is the Knight of Wands, this is the 10 of Cups, and the Knight of Wands and the 10 of Cups were both reversed in the read, and then the 10 of Cups was reversed, excuse me, the King of Cups was reversed too, but actually in a good way today. And I'll get to that in a minute. So things have definitely changed around a little bit. I was also asking, confirm on my run, I was thinking about Marilyn and JFK, and I was getting confirmation that JFK was her twin, for those of you who had asked that before. So that was interesting, because that was just random. And then, was there anything else on there? Okay, no, I'm good. Okay, so the Divine Masculine read done at 10 o'clock. but actually done 9:59 to 10 o'clock when I was still rearranging the bottom cards there. The major arcana here were Ascension, Indigo, and then after the read was the Tower. The Ascension card is like the World, which was reversed today. The Indigo card is like the Magician, which was also reversed today. And the Tower, and that was also reversed today. There's a lot of reversals in this read today, but it's very interesting how it comes out because it was not at all a negative read. So it was kind of cool the way it came out. The King of Cups was the only court card in the read. No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. I just had dark in that. The King of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. And then before the read was the Page of Cups and the Knight of Wands that I told you about already. And then after the read is the Queen of Wands, and she's upright today. The Knight of Pentacles is also upright, Page of Cups upright, Knight of Wands reversed. The numbers and coding today were all about intuition, new beginnings, rebirth, and nature to allow things to happen naturally. Triple twos came up today, so 222, as well as double fives and double sevens, 5577, and the number 10, as well as 12, which is the Hangman. 10, of course, is the Wheel of Fortune. 25 is the Knight of Wands, and 57, which is the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords was upright today, but not in a bad way. The code line added up to 14. That was 257, which is actually 25/7. It's the way 25 is written, the Knight of Wands. And 14 is the Temperance card. Balance and patience. And the angels, taking one step at a time. The code line, according to what the messages were about today, the intuition, new beginnings, rebirth, and nature, were to see after the death, and very much in the war came up after I wrote this down. It was very much about the end of the war. To see after the death, the T, which is toggle up for me, but also could be someone whose name is T, but also tea, the drink. Also could be T and E, toggling up, and the Divine Feminine, which is something that she does. And then the tie, to mastering toggling up, was coming up around the feminine to the masculine. So for the masculine, to see after death, the feminine having mastered toggling up her tie to the etheric realms, the 25/7, the Knight of Wands, a sense, or an ion. So sense, ascension, a sense, ion. So the feminine is literally being called a connection sense, okay, like the sixth sense. She has a good sense, as far as her third eye, her connection is very strong. For the Divine Feminine, that she's good at this. It's natural for the feminine energy, whether you're masculine or feminine. For the rebirth of the two of you. To see ADT, which can be protection, the mastering of the feminine and protecting her. The masculine's definitely coming up as the grounding mechanism for the feminine, holding her up while she's doing her thing. And the High Priestess is coming up as the King of Wands today, the feminine, because she's good at change. She's very good at adapting. She is the Knight right now. So to see masculine, to see the protection, to protect and master the two, or the pi, the centering of the masculine and feminine within, of himself, but also realizing the feminine is doing that as well, to expand the feminine within the masculine, a sense connector. Allow her to be your sense connector. That's something she's naturally good at. Or being the Knight. Being quick and adaptable, right? So something he may not be good at, the feminine is. So just seeing that tie, that you complement each other, and that's why you go together so well. And to allow yourselves to help each other in that way on the things that you're mediocre at, that's where you're going to come together and have lots to talk about, because you're going to get the same things. So the King of Cups came up as reversed, as the underlying part of the read. Underneath that, like I said, the Page of Cups, and then the Knight of Wands reversed, and then the Ten of Cups reversed, which just means the end of an emotional cycle. The Page of Cups with love, the Knight of Wands reversed, and that can mean a few different things in the Ten of Cups reversed. A message of love that falls short in the end of a family cycle, holding back passions, or emotionally detached, or feeling manipulative. There's detox here of grief, unsatisfied or unhappy about being alone without twin. The new life offer still stands out of the shadowy night. The dog is coming up as with the tower, like in that moon card, where you have the two towers and the two dogs. You only see one dog and one tower, and it's like the one dog that's curious about the moon. So it's like the masculine coming out and kind of curious about that shadowy moon, what it's all about. And that could be about the karmic and not understanding the false light. So July 16th to 17th was that full moon, disalarming one opponent or disarming one opponent. The whistleblower or lowball offer to a Cancer to pay them off. Offers now for the masculine are getting smaller. They may have received some more information and just intuitively, and now have something on the karmic that he can use as ammunition. That was coming up. There's definitely a lot of twins reaching out to each other at this time, which I'm sure all of you know if you're in connection with other twins. There's shame and guilt of justice under Libra, the dark night. Death is upright once again in its full power, walking over the sludge and standing up to religious leaders and kids. No red and white rose, but the rose pink light. Compassion is the order of the day after the judge cut off their nose to spite their face. Judge steps down in bare feet in the wake of death despite others' wishes. No longer held down to be the thief in the night. Gypsies, tramps, and thieves came up again. Time to stop letting others label and define who you are, including yourself. You are not who you were yesterday. Fuzzy socks to dampen the noise of tiptoe through the Moroccan gold tent with me, bathed in luxuries. One sneaky and stealing, and the other walks right over dead bodies. A long death walk of the old self, still young and feeling desperate. So remembering back when you were young, right, and you did stupid things, still young and feeling desperate for a home and help to survive. It's just bringing up the fact that that's still a wound in you, so you're still behaving as though that were true when it's no longer true. The baby bird left alone to stay alive, but is that living? 4 is manifestation, survival, but 8 is manifesting dreams. Excuse me just a minute, I just gotta adjust my seat here a little bit. All right, sorry about that. I still have back issues, so. Okay. All righty. Okay, so it's about not identifying yourself as who you used to be, nor identifying yourself as even what you identify yourself with today. You know, you have to think about, it's been coming up, how to identify yourself. You know, are you known as the bad kid or the good girl? Those are definitely labels you need to change as far as identifying with. So for me, I was just called a good girl, right? So, and I thought about that, and it's like, no, I'm an amazing person. I'm not just good. So it's just re-identifying with who you are, what your energy is really all about, and not going by what you thought you were when you were 13, right? Because even though you're not there anymore and you know that, you still identify with those adjectives. So 4 is manifesting survival, but 8 manifests dreams. And then I was getting a bunch of number stuff that I'm not really clear on yet, so I'm not going to go into that. But 7-2 came up again, and that death does not exist, just like the 13th month of the year. And again, it's all about perspective. So I was trying to figure out something with that, but I guess that's for another day. I was also getting, again, the V from the Roman numerals is creation, but it's not co-creation. So it's not the same on its own. For me, the co-creation symbol are the two lowercase i's with the V between, because the lowercase i's represent the chakra systems of each, the masculine and feminine, in their co-creation. So I was getting definitely creation without the two of you together. It's just not the same. It's just the V, and the V could just represent the vagina, right? The feminine portal. So the cycle was coming up today about the 5 through 9, so the second half of the cycle. So So the 5 through 9 is the higher levels, right? Because in numerology, the numbers are 1 through 9. So as you get to 5 through 9, you're in higher vibration. But this requires starting at 5, which is change and expansion, allowing that change. Love and ideas and implementation, also of rest and compassion for others and yourself. So at 1140, which is Justice and the Page of Cups, which Page of Cups is that first card we see, there's home and union, aligning with 5 coins. And remember, coins, C-O-I-N, is also another way of spelling Kohan, a high master. C-O-H-A-N-S, which is also Han Solo, 2 Hans together. All right, so it's the masculine and the feminine being the same as one in co-creation. The Queen of Pentacles not fully developed her coin until the journeyman comes back, being ahead with the balance of the masculine and feminine for her 5 out of 6 coins. So then again, this is confirming, which I didn't realize before, what I told you about the monad, 5 out of 6 coins. So the fifth doesn't come into union yet because they need to ground the other 4 twins. So those twins coming into union, the 2 and 2, make sure you show gratitude to your 5th twin in the monad because they're grounding for you, so you can come into union first, and then they'll come into union with their twin as well later when you're all acclimated. So there's 2 grounded, 1 always up in the air, the juggling act, the dance, the streetcar named Desire, and Desiree always comes up when I say that, so for someone out there, it's Desiree. The 5th is the charm, the never-ending expansion, along with balance, divine masculine and divine feminine within. Hearing the call, judgment, announcements, home and work, 2, 5 equals 7 again. That's that 25-7 of the Knight of Wands. The 6 gold coin melds the Queen of Pentacles and Journeyman together on the white horse. Okay, so it's saying that 6 gold coin is the person that's not even in the loop right now. They're like outside the 5, like so the 4, the 2, and so there's probably like 3, a twin, and then they have 2 other twin girlfriends. Okay, just for an example. And so two of those feminine twins will come into union, and then that third one is grounding them. So that's the 6 gold coin. Their partner outside of them melds the Queen of Pentacles and the Journeyman together on their white horse. They're traveling, they're doing grid work while the other one grounds where you are. This is what I'm getting. White horse with dark horse coming up as he, and this is not specific to persons, it just has to do with the masculine and the feminine. He purer than she more wealth than he. So whatever the stereotypical things are for men and women, it's like just showing you what will come up is the opposite coming into union. So the masculine more pure of heart and the feminine more pure of manifestation abilities. The divine masculine must be pure of heart and her pure of manifestation, both confident in their own integrity, rock solid of intent. If the divine masculine is with 2 wands at home, I was getting an equation with 2 wands at home, 5 pentacles at work. So there's a physical energy drain there at home, and 5 pentacles at work. So if it's work he loves, he's at a higher vibration and it doesn't drain him as much. So he can do twice as much without getting drained, even though you're still putting out energy because you're working. But you can do more of it there. Then there's very little to come back to offer the Queen of Pentacles unless there's some kind of joining at the workplace. So remember to not overwork, to allow time for your twin, because remember, after all this, it's really not about the mission. It's about love, okay? And the 2 of you come first. Don't forget that. You are each other. I don't want you to ever think that any mission is above you, because you are the collective consciousness, and you and your twin coming together is the most important thing in your journey, because it's all about love and being that example of love, showing each other love and forgiveness, and just being able to walk around and love people, okay? So this is the point. Of course, the mission, it's just about doing what you love. That's what the mission is, and that's going to come naturally to you. That's why the work won't be as draining, because it's just what you love to do, right? And whatever it changes, though, as we go along, what you're doing today and what you know you love is going to develop and then change into something else. So you never know. It's about staying present to allow for each change that comes, but knowing it always involves both you and your twin, okay? So you're called to announce again if there's been no message or a negative message, spying or mouthy kids. Someone may be stuck without a car, or maybe announcing a cancellation of plans to move or travel, kids mouthing off or misusing their phones or computer data. Little red boots may want to be a flyer on a cheerleading squad, but parents may think it's too dangerous because they may be in fear about it. What if they don't catch you, or someone got hurt, or someone may have been in a car accident, or it's just that parents are afraid to let their child drive, right, because they don't trust or have faith. Allow those you've taught to help or teach in return. So those of you who usually like to teach but may not listen so well, you're being called to do the opposite of what you're good at. Those who always give advice need to learn to accept advice as well, all to clear fear that is not of love. Death does not exist, only the change of perspective. Or the King of Cups reversed may have experienced death in a car accident, or a near-death experience, whether the King of Cups reversed or someone around them, or just the end of the road in a final judgment for the King of Cups reversed. After self-integration, there needs to be time to change lanes. If you are afraid, sometimes the universe comes in and forces your hand. Or just waking up to the thought of someone dying and how that would actually impact your life, for good or for bad, it's time to be authentic with them before those people pass, whether they like it or not. Remember, it's never wrong to give love, and how someone else receives that is their issue or their wound to clear. So never be afraid to speak your heart, okay? Have you told the one you love that you love them? Or are you waiting to regret that on yours or their deathbed? And that was at 12:11, being the hanging man in the 11 of justice, or Jesus on the cross, right? So who of his friends, of the apostles, or even Mary, had they told him they loved him before he died, okay? So it's the same, it's the templating of the twins, the Mary Magdalene and Jesus template. As I turn the page, it is 12:12, making it an even playing surface. So now it's equal from the 12:11 of the injustice of the hangman to the 12:12 to both hanging out together. Okay, there's definitely some stress that was coming up during the read today, especially since I start getting into the read of it. So around 11:30 today, if not from the start of the read, there's some frustration coming up if you're not getting the full picture. So if as I'm going through the read, like I wasn't getting the full picture with those numbers that I don't have an answer for you yet on, that I need to work on still. So it's about the frustration that comes up when things aren't flowing naturally. So just to let it go at that point. It's just not ready to germinate. So to let go, always remember yourself to come back and center yourself, allow, go with the flow. Let go if it's not working, even if you've already put a lot into it. Why continue if it's not making you happy or them? There's a big love through work that's been hidden and buried, covered up by negative energies. An old man hierophant growing older, white beard and birthday tiered cap, still petting a young girl who's bowing down to him with antenna in hand, while two beautiful swans leave flying south. And there's several different situations here, so please don't receive it as being literal, okay? Everything is about metaphor in the messages we receive. If it doesn't reply to your situation, don't make it so, okay? But there's definitely some negative energy coming up here about abusers or narcissists or people who have done bad things in the past. And here's some of the things that came up. It could just be the kids leaving the nest. It could be grandfathers or grandmothers going to facilities, although I'm getting masculine energy, but it could be a masculine type grandmother energy. Or some allowing their abuser to continue abusing others because they fear their own trauma being exposed. And that's very scary for someone, who's gone through that kind of thing. I'm definitely getting a tainted religious leader in red robes and scruffy gray beard allowing men who abused you terribly to touch your daughter. Could be a Sagittarius teen or early 20s who drinks too much or does spell work, who's very angry and vengeful, so she may have been abused already, or could be a karmic of the masculine and her father as well, I was getting for somebody. Her drinking while allowing him to care for her daughter, knowing very well, fully, what he's capable of doing to her. Can be a cult leader as well, where two escaped from there recently, or one of two girls escaped from a family or a cult situation with a boyfriend or friend, but the other sibling is still stuck there under the thumb of a drinking mother enabling the abuser, okay? Or abuser now in an old age home and someone not wanting to rock the boat, now he is incapacitated and can no longer hurt anyone. Aries was coming up definitely as that energy, but Sagittarius is there as well with issues, emotional issues. So again, hurt people. So even these people who are around the masculine who may be abusive, or even the masculine himself, remember, it's just all for it's the same, whether it's you, me, or them. It's all about wounds that they've experienced and how they're expressing them and not clearing them. The Hierophant reversed definitely connected to the Queen of Wands. No truth to lean on with the Ten of Cups reversed, family, and ending with emotional issues. Someone tossed out in court settlement or a divorce, or left on their own accord to find justice, and or Libra. Could be a child suing their parents for independence to leave an abusive situation. A mother just sitting there with ankle bracelets on next to the fruit basket on luxurious couch no longer. Ladies who lunch lost their free ticket to ride. Justice prevails, whatever the situation today. The glass slipper that appeared to fit actually was very painful for her, or she had manipulated it to work, but never really did work. The truth at the toe or the tip, the end of a very long line of manipulators. The pattern is finally broken by a child. Hip hip hooray, yay! So that was definitely coming up here. 1240 is the Hanging Man, and then the 40 of the Page of Cups, so that's confirming that. Spirituality came up, and that's number 77. And 77 is the 9 of Pentacles, which was reversed today, so that could definitely be a teen coming into their power, but feeling powerless, okay? And then healing was beneath that, 66. So we have 66 and 77. 66 is the Queen of Pentacles, and the 77 is the 9 of Pentacles, very much her daughter, okay? So there's definitely a mother-daughter situation here with healing and spirituality, and it looks like the daughter, the granddaughter, is actually healing the whole line for them because they haven't done it. That's definitely karmic energies. And that could be a twin child or, all of the children are more highly developed in their DNA than we are. So 1241, Hangman, and the 41 of the Ace of Cups. Lies about lovers or a split from your true love. Never really let go, always holding her hand. Okay, this is the masculine. The Divine Feminine always seeing the Holy Grail that she is, but only one man is worthy of holding her cup up. Cheers. Chef du chalet with a smile and exposed natural wood. Beaming studs all aligned by 5s. The logs exposed as well. Okay, so that 5 was reiterating the 4 coming into union while the 1 grounds. 7 groups of 5. 75 is the 7 of Pentacles reaping those rewards. That's okay. And then 57, the reflection of that is the 3 of Swords, the separation. So one very much also, the twins may be going through separation issues and the other one reaping rewards. As the monkey or the monk key, right? Like the hermit is the key, going within, in the middle, who holds them together, captures their warmth, all right? So the 5th one of the monad captures their warmth because they're grounding for them as they come into union, while the 6th one is doing grid work, away, also grounding them. The cross now made into a bridge. So this is Jesus' cross, now made into a bridge. One mouse bending down, too exhausted to make it at the one end of the bridge, at the one end of the marathon, right? So they've been running a marathon the whole time, and they just drop right at the beginning of the bridge. But then Ben comes to her rescue. Remember Michael Jackson and Ben, the little mouse he was hanging out up at night with? So little Ben comes to the rescue. She gave her last bit of strength to shower him with love, even if she knew he may collapse from it. But he was so close, he felt her and ran to help her, meeting her more than halfway, or vice versa. All it takes is to show up, to just make the smallest little effort, to just ask for help. The masculine always allows his true love to shine, his feminine, and carries her when she's too weak to walk, always proud of her no matter how she likes to shine. He knows she needs the sunlight to recharge, so he lifts her gently into the light, and she into this good night. Refusing to see any negative past lies or split or chaos or abuse. A detox is water under the bridge, as 3 cheers. We all need a place to go where everyone knows our name. That's from Cheers. We all need a place to go, our authentic light. If we allow our friends too to lift us up, to lift us, and not being too proud to receive help or not too needy, to not try first on your own. It's more fun when you can find one to do it with, to share your moments without need for attention. However, good cheer doesn't have to come with alcohol. It may release some of the fear artificially, but creates more fears when you're no longer drunk. All in moderation. If you can, shine without it. That's best. Someone may struggle just out of detox, people wanting to celebrate their achievements with the same thing that got them there in the first place. You may need to change friends or family members. We are who we hang with because we draw in what we resonate with. If a friend makes you uncomfortable, tell them so they can choose whether they want to change it or walk away. Don't make that decision for them. Make it their decision, even if it could hurt their feelings. At least give them that opportunity to stay. Clean living, enjoy life to its fullest. And that was at 109. And 1 and 9 are the most powerful of the numbers. The 1 of the Magician, the 9 of the Hermit. All right, going out to manifest in your Magician embodiment, and the Hermit to stay home and rest and go within for enlightenment. 3 cups and 2 cups may be a barrel of monkeys. Monk keys, remember that's the key. Don't let 3 lower energies bring your 2 high energies down, trying to tempt you into what you're missing. You've been there already. No need to revisit those drunk nights or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be alcohol. Just because you are the minority doesn't mean you're not in the right. But everybody does it, and that's fine. If it doesn't work for you, walk away. Don't concede to the group. You don't need the wrong kind of dark, flamey, dramatic attention. Take the dramatics out of the equation. Be love, not about numbers. Just be true to you and your expression of self. And for some, that's more dramatic than others, but don't over-dramatize what you're saying. Like an advertisement would be fake to get the point across. It's just saying, don't be fake. Be your real you, okay? And some people's authentic self is very dramatic. But remember that polarity is extreme, so extreme excitement is just as bad as extreme misery, okay? Both of them will take you down. Remember, as twins, when you abuse your body, you also punish your twin. Twin unable to sleep, what's your other twin doing? Woozy from them drinking, aroused because they're at the bar, or on a power trip, competition, or can't wake up in the morning because they drank too much last night, feeling insecure because your twin was flirting at the party, showing off, or sex, or abusing self in any way, which, by the way, if it's not with your twin, it is abuse to both you and your bodies and souls, to both of you. You really can't win without facing your twin. All extremes take the other down with you, including depression. It works both ways. Always about the middle, the monkey in the middle. Always return to center point 0. If you're overexcited, the other stressed or depressed or headache when you polarize. They polarize to the other extreme. Not good to play games or beat around the bush. It's better to be direct, not trying to fish or nudge to get the truth out of them. Just speak your truth. How they react or not is up to them. Let go of the outcome, even if you don't understand your own message. If you get a download and don't understand it, just put it out there and say that you didn't understand it, but somebody else will. No attention is hiding, so don't hide your light, but let go of dramatics. Neutralize, calm, shine naturally. This is where boundaries are helpful. Be seen and heard, but just allow others to come to you. No force. However, Kindly turn away manipulation, stroking of your ego that is inappropriate when you love someone else. Notice I didn't say married or committed. 3D, that's a 3D construct. You are naturally loyal to those you love. Staying married to one you don't love is a lie that hurts everyone, especially the kids. And that's at 138. 1 is the Magician, 38 is the Queen of Cups. So this is very important here because when, think about this. When you've truly, truly been in love with someone, you don't flirt with other people. You may have a friendly conversation with someone, but you all know the difference between flirting and having a friendly conversation with the people at school, right? At back to school night, there's a difference there. People who are in love with their partner have no need to flirt with other people. On the contrary, because they love them and respect them too much to do that. They wouldn't dishonor them that way. So it's just a call to say, when you live a lie, whether you stay together for the kids, you think you're doing the right thing, but you're living a lie, so it can't be real because you're putting out dishonesty to the universe, which is very scientific. It will come right back at you. It just comes back in a way that you don't expect. So it may not be direct, and it may be, in a way that's even worse than you thought. So, pay attention to your own lies, because we all do that to ourselves. We think we're doing the right thing, but a lie is a lie is a lie. It doesn't matter what society tells us is right. Okay? It's all energy. So a friendly conversation, like I said, and flirting are two different actions. Friendly is respectful to those you love. Flirting is not, unless you're flirting with the one you love. And playing, not manipulating. Both are on the same page, same game. When you go to see a show, everyone knows it's fake, unless the two actors that are kissing are secretly in love, while their partners are trusting a different game at home. Okay, so they're not on the same page. If you're both on the same page, it's like two consenting adults. As long as everyone knows the rules of the game, all that are involved, there's nothing wrong with that. But if someone is flirting with someone in manipulation for their own reason, then they're not playing the same game, and that's manipulation, okay? So friendly is respectful to those you love. Flirting is not, unless it's with the one you love. And that's because you're just playing a game. People generally truly in love have no need to flirt with others. Think about that. And the neediness, the emotional detachment is manipulation. Death is harsh of anything. Wait, 1 second. I don't know how I wrote that down. I'm sorry, my back is... I hung on my inversion table yesterday. My back's a little sensitive today. So, neediness or emotional detachment is manipulation, and death is harsh with anything. So the death of anything is harsh, but getting past the body, the dead person, or whatever it is that you're walking over, remember the body is just a shell. It's going back to the earth while the spirit is off into another dimension. Don't worry about the dead bodies. It's no different than a dead bird or your dead dog. You loved your dog, but the body is a body. It's going to disintegrate. It's dead. It's no longer in pain. Celebrate their life and free them. Don't cling to their energy. Instead, connect directly in 5D. When the car breaks, it breaks. Either fix it or let it go. It's fine. Just send love either way. Love the good and the shadows, all of you, and allow. Justice is peace and balance. Return to center point, ground zero. Butterflies and fruit, along with the harsh truth. A human body is a holding tank. Containment. Allow your body to tell you what it needs spiritually. And before I get on with the rest of the read, I'm going to show you around the table, and I'm going to tell you the signs and the positions of this. Well, the court cards. Yeah, positions of the court cards and the signs. Can't get it out of my mouth. We switched already back to Mercury direct, I guess, but there's a little bit of interference there in the air still. Okay, so we have the Emperor upright and the Empress reversed in the read today. Cancer was upright, Scorpio upright and reversed, which means two separate people are expressing both positive and negative energies. Capricorn upright and reversed, Leo all reversed. Sagittarius upright, Libra upright, Pisces mostly reversed, but the Page of Cups is upright, so that's just the child energy. Taurus is all reversed, Virgo is upright and reversed, Gemini is all reversed, Aquarius upright and reversed, Aries upright and reversed. Of the aces, all 3 aces were upright except for the Ace of Wands, which is frustration and creative blocks, that kind of thing. Could be anger and temper tantrums as well. All of the kings were down except for the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is good. He's the man of passion. He's in control of his wands. The queens were all upright today. Very positive for the feminine energy today. And the knights were all upright except for the Knight of Wands, who was reversed. Okay, so the knights and the aces were the same that way. So the new beginnings were all really positive except for the energy of movement and new beginnings were all positive except for the wands. The pages, Page of Cups was upright, and the Page of Pentacles were upright. The other 2 reversed. And all of the 9s and 10s were reversed, which is great, because that means the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords were both reversed, which is great. All 9s and 10s were reversed. I never see that. And the 5s, of the 5s, the only one that was reversed was the 5 of Pentacles, which is good, because that means recovering from abandonment or destitution type issues. Okay, so I'm going to show you around, and then we'll get into that stuff. Nope. Sorry. All right, so the underlying energy there is that King of Cups. Recent past is that that's 5 of Crystals, which is the 5 of Pentacles, which you can't see any of the card there going away. And then we have the 2 of Cups there, hiding underneath there. You see there, there's 2 people. And then the cards there, okay? Then we have the center of the reed, which is the 7 of chalices, which is the 7 of Cups. The challenge being the Ascension card, which is like the world. And then the other underlying energies from the decks, and the crowning card, which is the indigo, that purple card there. And then we bridge across and down to the near future, which is the 7 of orbs or swords. Okay, that's that liar, cheat, or thief card, but in this deck it's much more about passing on downloads. And the masculine sees himself as that 5 of swords, and then we have the romance angel cards there, and then around the masculine is the 2 of flames, which was reversed today. The blocks he needs to clear is the Knight of Pentacles or Crystals, which you see there, right there with the crystal in his hands. He was upright today. And then the numerology cards there, and the final cards, which is that 2 of Pentacles, the surrender, but that was reversed energy. It was still surrender energy, but there was kind of a twist there. The Tower was reversed, the Queen of Wands upright, and then the Ace of Swords upright, so the truth was coming out there. And then the other number cards and the rest of the clarifiers. And just quickly, I'll show you the, these are the cards I pulled for the signs. Okay, so those top ones are the underlying energies. And then we have Aries, goes across, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and then Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and then the last 4 were Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And then there's some other cards there, and definitely looks like the Queen of Wands and the King of Swords have it out there, so I'll get into that in a minute. All right, so I'm going to put this on the rest of the read here so you can see better. Okay. All right, so recently, the 5 of Pentacles reversed, recovering from destitution or abandonment of self, the Page of Pentacles child, student or opportunity, invitation, to the King of Cups reversed to recover with the truth. The King of Cups reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, are past the point of no return. So here I was getting that the 2 are reversed, but you know, when they're reversed, sometimes it's not something bad. It just means that cycle is done, especially with kings. That's the end of the cycle for that suit. So this was coming up as the King of Cups reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed. Once you get to a certain level, you're done the game. The King of Cups reversed and King of Pentacles reversed both already mastered those things in the human holding pattern, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, both in their knowing on a quest for the impossible dream. The beautiful stallions, Arabians, and stags in their power were placed in holding tanks to tame their inner beasts. So the masculines, because they had that majority of the masculine energy, had to tame their inner beast. that's what they've been doing all this time. It's like the horses being caged. They've been taught to tame the beast, and now they're in the holding tank and the gate's ready to be opened. All right, so to tame the inner beast, the divine masculines, before divine timing, the opening of the lion's gate. Those who have achieved their masters go into union. The lion's gate is graduation day. If you received a standing ovation from your guides, you know you've arrived. I'm told that February is another gate. It's like 2-2 builds up to Valentine's Day. Just like in August, the Chinese Valentine's Day is August 7th this year. Again, 4/4/2020 to 5/5/2021, I'm being told, is a honeymoon period for the twins in union, a graduation gift of sorts. It's 11 months, 1 day, 1 hour of true bliss, 11/11, okay? So again, that's April 4th of 20 to May 5th of 21 is 11 months, 1 day, 1 hour of true bliss, okay? 11/11. An acclimation period of sorts. And I was getting that from 1:59 to 2 o'clock. And again, the masculine sees himself as 59 today, and it's also the minute before the hour, the 11th hour. The magician and the war within, getting to the 2 o'clock, getting to the church on time. I was just getting 2 is the high priestess, and then the 00 of 2 human embodiments in need of being centered, right? Because they're not pi. So as we turn the page, it's 201, so now we have the High Priestess and the Magician. The foundation is the 2 of Cups reversed. The Emperor with the end of the family cycle emotionally, offering a new life or a payoff to disconnect. I was also getting, as a reminder, for the exclamation points. So instead of using an exclamation point, just be more direct. It's about not over-dramatizing things, because the exclamation point is the opposite of the lowercase I, which is the chakra system and the third eye. So it's saying you're not being aligned when you're using the exclamation point, because that means you're being more dramatic. Or just the label thing was coming up again. Or offering a token. Yeah, so the masculine may be offering a new life or a payoff to someone to disconnect, or offering a token to the divine feminine while he organizes his life, or pays for a new car, or maybe a trip that was promised, or to fix up a home or move, so some things need to be done. Retrograde corrections. And 27 was coming up here, which is that Ace of Wands, which is normally, new passion and excitement, but obviously some frustrations when you got to take care of some bills or work to do. The divine feminine within the masculine, frustrated with them, together, they're being at steps 2 and 3 now together of the union. The 23 is the King of Wands upright. So the masculine and feminine, they're being shown to me at steps 2 and 3, have mastered passion but haven't graduated yet, right? So they've graduated, but they haven't gone through the ceremony yet, just like school. There's the last 4 steps, because we're not seeing the 1, just the 2 and the 3. So there's still 4, 5, 6, 7 need to go together. They've not mastered their passion yet because they haven't graduated. So the 4 last steps are simultaneous. It's the 3rd to the 4th leg of the race, the physical union and a place to live. Dumping attachments, the divine masculine, to start fresh from Leo or ego. Leo out of control, making off with the goods anyway, or needing strength or courage to take a risk, to just take what's important to you and just get out of there. If Leo and our ego hasn't taken off with the goods already. Feeling limp due to divine timing, divine passion, or that the secret is out, or the masculine not using their intuition, the worst is over in a breakup or disconnect from group situation, and or death or end to something. The challenge being his world upside down, the Queen of Wands heartbroken, or just in separation and divorce, or just totally separate from any kind of spirituality of any kind. Not crying over divorce here, offering love out of insecurity and or manipulation, judgmental player or withholder of passions, or just too tired to care about some journey and getting attention now to get in the breakup. So some of the Queen of Wands may be happy in a breakup because they're actually already getting masculine attention. A message of love or child or a pregnancy may have broken up the relationship, tripping up breaking patterns, dropping the facade. The Divine Masculine offers a little friendship or just being pleasant for the sake of the children. Divine Masculine understanding to just keep being loved to diffuse the situation, or a child helps with that. Children, especially Pisces, are coming up here, also breaking patterns as you do. Divine Masculine allowing his inner child to show a little bit at a time. Death, endings, and transitions. And then I was getting connection, a personal connection as opposed to a connection to that. I was getting the message here that carrying the weight of the world, as opposed to, something really heavy that you have to drop, I'm getting is the third eye, that he ain't heavy, he's my brother. So it's saying, the real meaning for the carrying the weight of the world upon your shoulders is not carrying the weight, just connecting through your third eye to your higher self. Frustrated, uninspired, going through the death, endings, and transition, until grounding and integrating and mastering the tweets and the sweets and the gate opening, August 8th, aligning, and it doesn't have to be right on August 8th, that's that time period, aligning with details of parting of the ways, distribution according to a final judgment, disconnect from a lover to stand in the harsh truth, a loving confession after drained and sick about it, draining the Queen of Pentacles, trying to wake him up to release him from a prison that he was in, one that he put himself in. And that was at 247, which is the High Priestess and the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups in the Sirian Star Seed deck is very much about the stairway to heaven, or the 5D, in other words. So now crowning is the indigo reversed, depressed and insecure, in surrender or death at work or workplace, in need of a fresh look, in need of attention, sprucing up the workplace or place of co-creation, wherever it is, over a purge. So purge may have just ended, mourning a close of a cycle, the end of the King of Swords reversed, or in other words, him no longer being his untrue self or his fake self, not being in his truth. Grieving his past, his hurt inner child, no options about dating. The Knight of Cups offers love to take sovereignty away, rendering her powerless to his love, unable to trick or surprise about breakup or just breaking patterns of withholding affections or holding on to affections that are no longer there, or love that others are unable to give. While he longs for unrequited love, his flame longs for him. Time to change that to see the real him. Try something you won't normally try, a different route, or anything, a food. If you normally won't break, then break. If you can't be wrong, confess. If you never surrender, surrender to bliss. Be strong in being weak. Tackle self or allow someone in who doesn't drain you. End the pain or suffering. The sacrifice, there is no need for it. Intellectualizing just makes you more depressed. Feel instead. Soon, taking a risk, especially if you never do, the worst is over. Just hang out and do nothing but see other perspectives. Philosopher or philosophize. Be still for no reason. Pass on just one little download. Make it count. The Queen of Wands looked away from a block or a problem at work or place of co-creation, and that the Queen of Cups could be anyone. It could be someone at the workplace, or it can be the feminine, or a child, anybody really. The Queen of Cups used her own time and energy. This is at this place wherever the Queen of Wands is. She used her own time and energy to look into it, feeling powerless to confessions or blocks or getting through to the right people, whereas the Queen of Wands was looking the other way because she's just not interested in what the masculine does. And the Queen of Cups is willing to put heart, time, and money and energy to lessen the burden for him, to open the energy to more love. Uninspired and frustrated, or it's just that the masculine's frustrated because he's got kids there, finding peace by walking away or going within, or when kids go back to their mom, finding the freedom of peace. Quiet time. The Divine Masculine is the Five of Swords. It's how he's seeing himself. He's seeing that he's the enemy only to himself, preventing joy, defenseless to energies or attacks, now no longer caring, no loud people or parties around, just work that he loves, rest, peace, and quiet, possibly some meditation to make everything better again. The 5D, connected at work. Deception, express your love. So with deception, it's someone's wearing a false mask, expressing your love, wedding, that then situation involves marriage, and then romantic feelings, as well as calling in your soulmate came up for the masculine. Around the masculine, or how he's seen, are two flames without options. The Queen of Cups looking within at night while the dogs howl, her waiting for the lobster to make friends with the dogs, or at least peace, so he can walk right past them and down the path to the Divine Feminine's house so they can share, leaving the full moon to the dogs. Clear blocks of offerings, proposing, loyal, humble servant, to wake of the dysfunction. So let me start this sentence over again. Clear the blocks, masculines, of offerings and proposing, so anything that is bringing up fear for you, of being a loyal, humble servant as opposed to the man in charge. In the wake of experiencing a dysfunctional family that made you feel that way, and or currently, and loss of money, be present that you are the gift. Don't worry about what you have to give. Let go of the rest, especially in the aftermath of the Queen of Wands' wrath, trying to grab her scraps that she left behind. Be present to others' resistance to allow change for the good of all. So be more aware of the people who are draining you. Letting go of attachments that are draining or making you sick. People, things, workplace, and drama, and the icky sweet, or in other words, the fake, the not real. And two extremes were coming up here. Remember, this is polarization. So when you're polarized, you're not where you need to be. And the two extremes were coming up, especially with the masculine and the feminine, both are karmics, were codependencies of one being needy, dependent, liking to have lots of parties because they need many people around because they're energy vampires. People around to get their, so they can get energy from them, so they overshare and are superficial, but this is in lack. The other side of the coin, which is also in lack, is the independence, the too much freedom, the wild and selfish, alone as to keep energy to yourself and not share. Hold on and clinging to what's yours, around takers. And again, this could be a minimalist, but they're both in lack because they're the extremes. The point is to come together and share in your true authenticity, allowing unconditional love, that you both are okay, allowing the other person to be exactly who they are. Be true to both of you. There's nature comes up, rebirth, new beginnings, intuition, like I said in the beginning, but even more so for the masculine today is effort and change. Make an effort to change something in your life, to get comfortable with it. No olive branch in separation, just a clean cut with the karmics. No going back this time. And this is coming up from the masculine, if that's what they're doing, not because we're telling you to do, but that's what's happening. Surrender by dropping, falling, breaking, allowing, loss of hope. Be patient, one step at a time to find clarity. The Queen of Pentacles holding on loosely while released themselves from prison. In the aftermath of the storm, with the lightning grid developing. Greased lightning, hands across the sky. Surrender is the hands across the water for the masculine and feminine. Hands across the sky means that message has been received. Dropping the burdens after the storm or the war, the Queen of Swords faces the King of Wands while the Queen of Wands gets the truth about the false light and her own false light. The Hermit disconnected in lacking faith, unable to face a fall from grace, frustrated, and feeling weak, implementation or a strategy that someone might have been planning a one-night stand, or holding back passion, or rushing in but then falling short, or just too exhausted to do it with good intentions. The grounding and integrating of love offered to the Empress reversed, and not expressing feelings. So someone's grounding and integrating a love that was offered to them, the masculine, or actually love offered to the Empress reversed, who never expresses their feelings, right? So, and the Empress reversed isn't good energy anyway, and that could be a parent who's not well, but just someone who's not expressing their feelings, not going back and forth, not allowing that opening. The messenger of truth, or knight in shining armor, rushes in without option on a quest for the impossible dream. Justice of the King of Pentacles reversed, falling and being offered love instead, an offer of help to release the prisoner. The King of Cups reversed disconnects from the war within and the false flame to recover and detach from that which no longer serves, challenged by that upside-down world, a risky proposal or offer in insecurities in wake of the Queen of Wands' truth. All right, so surrendering in the wake of the Queen of Wands' truth. And that's 354. 3 is the Empress, and 54 is the Page of Swords. So that truth coming out. And people being truthful with themselves about who the other people really are, or are you just always hoping that person's going to be something else? Pure love versus the player, or 2 kids and the family cycle, under the King of Cups reversed, recovering without attention. Disconnect to detach from insecurities, challenged by another world, or their world turned around. The war, the invasion of Normandy, is over. War of the Roses too. No option but to use the light in his hands to manifest as loyal servant after the war. Surrender to the truth of who the Queen of Wands is, and not what you hope they will be someday. The Queen of Wands taking your crown without your permission, wearing the glory you worked so hard for as if it were her truth, because she says so. That is not, and he is not surrendering to her. Finally, seeing the truth above all else. Seeing who she really is and who he really is, and not lying to each other or themselves about it. So this was coming up as PTSD after the war, and some definitions were coming up for those things. So PTSD was coming up as Pi for P, toggle up for T, S for Sophia, and then D is, remember DD is divine directors, which come up as and that one read, which I gave you lots in detail about Michael and Metatron being the dogs. Well, they are the dogs. So the D is the dogs, Michael and Metatron, but it's also telling me the divine directors is a triangle of God, Michael, and Metatron. Like, right? Those are his main dogs, his main bodyguards, basically. So again, Pi, toggle up, Sophia, and the dogs. And the numbers for PTSD are 16 of the Tower, 20 of the Judgment card, 19 of the Sun, and 4 of the Emperor. So in other words, and this was at 407, the Emperor and the Chariot, after the Tower is Judgment Day. So the Tower is the war, Judgment Day is the PTSD after the war, then comes the Sun and fun with the Emperor, or in other words, God, because God is the only one truly in control. The universe, creator, source, however your perspective is on that. God and the guard dogs. So that was the read, and then when I was on my run today, again, I saw 4 birds come out of the bush on my way home, and then a 5th, and then I saw 4 more birds come out of the same bush, and the 6th. It was very cool how that kept reiterating to me about the 2 of the monad of the 6 sets of twins, that 2 sets come into union while the other set grounds, but the other set's apart, so one's doing grid work and one's grounding where the twins are. Okay, so I want to go over the signs that you guys are here, because I was getting see if you can see over there a little bit. Okay. So Aries, well, first so this is the 12 signs for you who didn't see the beginning. These are the underlying energies here. This is the bottom of the deck, and that's after these 4 cards. And then we have Aries here across like this. So this is fire signs, earth signs, air signs, and water signs. Okay. So up here we have the Justice card, which is reversed. I use a different deck, so these are reversals here. I usually do it with all uprights in this read, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. The Justice card is reversed, which has to do with injustice, or if there's a court proceeding or divorce, whatever it is, they're in the process still, that it's not worked out yet. Or that someone feels it wasn't fair, the final judgment made. That was above the fire signs. So fire signs are feeling an injustice today. The earth signs have the sun above them, which is amazing, right? So that's total exposure or just great energy, kids around, playing, feeling playful. But it's really, it's powerful energy. It's the most powerful card in the deck in that respect. And then the air signs have work, because they have the Eight of Pentacles at the top there. And that could just be, it doesn't have to be work, it could just be working out details. Could be getting their affairs in order, bills, paying bills, just all the stuff that you don't necessarily want to do, but it could be working that they love as well, working with their hands, but it's definitely getting aligned, whatever it is. And it's upright. So then we have the King of Cups at the far end for the water signs, which is reversed in this deck as well. It was reversed in the read and it's still reversed over there. So again, that could mean that they're emotionally detached or manipulative, but it also can mean that they've mastered the cycle and they're done. Okay, so it's more about the masculine coming up as the King of Cups and the feminine coming up as the King of Pentacles, because one has to master their emotions, the other has to master their manifestation abilities out in the world, which is the challenge for each of the masculine and feminine. So then we have Aries here with the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is all about taking time out to be quiet and rest or connect in the 5D, meditation, any of those kind of things. But let's see if we want to clarify a bit. Maybe I will. Oh, I can't because I have the deck all out there. I can do that another time. I can just take, I'm just going to tell you what I have because I still have some more cards out here. So Aries has the Four of Swords, but they're feeling injustice, so they're meditating or resting to center themselves again. Taurus has the Tower card reversed, which is, like I said, it's after the war, the aftermath of the war and the cleanup that's required during that time. So that's what Taurus is going through, the cleanup after the war, the PTSD, so to speak, but has the sun. So there could be a lot of help around them, a lot of exposure and truth that's come out, but good playful energy. There may be kids around, as well as just being out in the sun, doing whatever cleanup you have to do. It could be yard sales and stuff like that as well. For the Gemini, we have the Three of Cups, so definitely positive energy there of coming together with friends or children, and working out details or doing some work around the house. Or it could be with friends or coming together to create something that you and your friends like to do together. But definitely coming together there in a positive way, enjoy. Then we have Cancer, which has Nine of Cups reversed. So this can be dissatisfaction with the work that you're doing, or just general unhappiness, being alone. So it could be someone who is centered and integrated and normally is the Nine of Cups upright, but maybe feeling a little out of sorts today because they're lonely and they want to be with their twin. Okay, that's Cancer there. And it also could be a little bit of arrogance coming out with the King of Cups reversed at the top there. So feeling a little manipulative, because when you get insecure or sad that you're alone, people just in general have a tendency to become manipulative. That's what happens. So there's just some it could be just general malaise as well, just feeling emotionally a little down. It could be someone who drinks as well, who might be sick from going out last night or from drinking today. If they drink every day, it could definitely be an alcoholic who is sick and throwing up. That's Cancer. So then we have Leo, which has the Ace of Wands upright. Now the Ace of Wands was reversed in the read, but this is definitely Leo on the hunt. There's definitely Leo on the prowl. That could be, you see Sagittarius has two wands reversed, so that's more in line with the energies that were frustrated there. But Leo's upright, they may definitely have a new creative passion or a new sexual passion, whichever it is. But there's injustice, so it could be revenge as well. Okay. Then we have the Virgo energy, which is Eight of Wands reversed, which is not expressing their feelings, keeping it to themselves. or it could be holding back communications, but it has the sun above it, so it's not exposing all, and sometimes that may be okay. And there's no lying here energy. It's just about it maybe not be the right time to express feelings. That may be coming up, or not wanting to, or not telling other people's secrets, things like that, you know, so that may come up, especially as a part of these types of reads. But this is general again, so this isn't specific to any one person, and it doesn't resonate with some at all. So that's for you to take and see what resonates for you. But that's Virgo energy. It's definitely more positive than not, but maybe holding back expressions of feelings for another day, or had to cancel a flight, or cancel some kind of plans, or just holding back stressful communications, because that can be a heated debate as well. So they may not be in the right place today. They just want to have fun with their kids. And then we have Libra, which is the death card, which is great because that's actually, it could be a death for someone, but for me, you know, it's the work card up top. It's more about complete transformation and allowing the changes to happen at work or whatever you're working on. And that can be just, you know, work stuff at home too, or creative work. Allowing the change to happen. All right, the end of a cycle, the end of a project, the end of a way of being. All of those things are coming up for Libra in a very positive way. Then we have Scorpio, which is the Five of Wands reversed, which is the end of a fight, the end of conflict, or the end of a competition. And the King of Cups reverses up top there, so that could literally be Scorpio feeling a little manipulative or insecure today, or having mastered their process and no longer needing to fight or feel competitive at all. Then we have, or it could be, have just fought with the King of Cups reverse, could be that Scorpio, but then you could have just been fighting with someone else and still feeling a little off about that. So it just depends what cycle you're in. And then we have the Sagittarius with the Two of Wands reversed, which is feeling like there's no options, like there's no choice of path to take. There's only, it can be positive in that so there's only one choice. You just have to know that and make that choice. Or you can feel stuck, you know, like for my dad definitely, I used to use these cards to communicate for my mom and dad. I still use them for my mom, but my dad passed away in 16. But when he had dysphagia, so he couldn't talk the last year or two of his life. So I would take cards to see what he was thinking and then just ask him to confirm yes or no, so he could say yes or no. So definitely he felt stuck, like with no options, and that's the negative way, where someone's stuck inside their body with no way to express, and just knowing that they're dying, and it's just like a slow death, which was very sad to watch for my dad. But that's the kind of energy coming up there. But it can be a positive thing too, realizing, oh, there is no options. I'm not really stuck. I'm just not seeing what's in front of me. Okay, so that's Sagittarius. Then we have Capricorn, which is a Five of Pentacles. And again, the Sagittarius was resting, meditation, and quiet, so doing some self-work. Then we have the Capricorn with the Five of Pentacles reversed, which is coming out of abandonment or destitution issues, whether it's feeling financially destitute, emotionally destitute, morally destitute, whatever those things are for you. It's in the aftermath of the war, because we have the tower, not the tower, but the sun's at the top. So it's very positive for Capricorn recovery, right? The sunshine might be helping them as well as kids coming in. So kids are always positive. They always make me feel better, that's for sure. So then we have Aquarius. Has the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And that doesn't have to be like bad luck or anything. It can just mean that we're in retrograde, so things are delayed, or, you know, you have to go back and clean something up. But the top card has to do with work again, so it might be something you have to do at work that you don't feel like, just bills that you got to pay, that kind of thing. But it's just saying that this is time for you to do that, and the retrograde is a time to slow time down so you don't miss any details of things that you did miss before. Okay, so it's about going back to things you worked on already to clean things up, so then you're ready when you push forward at going forward. It's not just about Mercury retrograde, because I believe we're out of that now, but we're still in the shadow. But the other planets that are retrograde. And then we have, for Pisces, the Six of Pentacles reversed, which is an imbalance or just paying out. So maybe being in debt, that kind of thing, or giving too much and needing to rebalance. And we got the King of Cups reversed at the top. So he, if it's him specifically, as the Pisces then he is imbalanced and either is in debt or gives too much. Okay? It's just whatever it is, it's an imbalance of, it's an inequity, you know, in sharing between other people, either giving too much or not giving enough. It could have been, someone could be a scammer or could be scammed as well in money. Someone might have scammed the Pisces, or the Pisces may feel like they're scamming someone else. And it doesn't have to be anything big or serious. It could just be something stupid, but either way, it's off balance and there needs to be a rebalancing here for Pisces. Then we have I'm going to pull these up here because I pulled a bunch afterwards because they kept all kind of relating to the same situation. So I don't know if you can see these guys all well, but all right, this is definitely like the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands reversed in a fight. And it could be about this person, which could be a child, or she could have a younger lover. Or she may be mad because of some kind of communication or excitement or inspiration that is hers, or the masculines that she was mad at. So this could definitely be the karmic, the masculine, having it out. He's offering a peace treaty and she's offering some words of advice, okay? So she's mad and he's staying calm, but it could have to do with a child. This child could be with her, but they're facing away. Could be disagreement on how to treat this child in the situation, or it could be, it doesn't have to be a lover, but it could be a younger lover of the karmics in a separation here. They weren't happy whether they're together or not, trying to work things out in a separation because they are parting. Either way, she's mad. Okay. So then after that, I want to show you the cards to follow because they were leading into a storyline here. And this has to do with, this can be that a secret came out and that's what the Page of Wands was, or it could just be someone wasn't using their intuition, or there's passion here, secret passion. And that definitely relates to this, okay? Secret passion. That's about a prisoner or someone held hostage and the journey, all right? So the karmic may have found out about the hostage or prisoner situation, about the twin or the journey, something about it, and going forward. And then we have these three cards that came up. So that has to do with the masculines taming their own inner beast, or this could be the Leo karmic or their own ego, and offering money or a new life to someone who needs the opportunity. All right, and this could be an opportunist. So if the karmic is that kind of person who's all about the money and they're an opportunist, this could be the masculine or the karmic. All right, he could be, this is him tempering his own inner beast or his ego, but also could be a Leo karmic. So one or the other is offering either money or a new life to a child, or to someone who's an opportunist, or someone who's just in need of an opportunity or a little help. Money or an invitation, schooling, right? Maybe this is a student who has struggles in school, who needs help. So this could be paying for help for that child as well, okay? And then we had, these three came out next, the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. So that's definitely about, you know, like that's getting away with something, whether it's something really serious or just, you know, a kid being sneaky or getting away with something. Could be either one because we have children energy here coming up. Someone might need to pay back someone, restitution for doing something wrong that a kid did. This is given up a fight. Someone who was very weak and gave up, that this person stole from or did something bad to, so a kid might need to make up for that. Or it could be that karmic also as well, who actually took something from someone who's already wounded, giving up. And this has to do holding on loosely but not letting go, so that could definitely represent the feminine, and then the karmic doing something to her or having taken from her energy or whatever it is. It could be accusations as well, of like, you know, kicking a man while they're down, or a woman, whichever way it goes. And then we have Judgment reversed and the Six of Cups and the Fool, so I wanted to show you up to here because this was kind of like the end of the story where things change. So this is deliberations, not being judgmental, or maybe that a bad decision occurred with holding on loosely, because they were just in deliberations about children. There's going to be children who are actually, this is really good energy for the kids because they're upright, but it can be about the twins as well, and the freedom of the twins, or the freedom of the children trying to, teenagers trying to get out of the house and be free. Like I said, it came up in the read, there may be a kid that wants to no longer have their parents in charge of them, and so may legally have gone through that to get their independence. So it's definitely about kids and twins coming into their freedom and their happiness and taking a leap of faith. So that was really beautiful. All right, so I know this is going long. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, and mostly just enjoy yourself and be happy, guys. Do your best and be patient and in faith, and rise and be love, guys. Okay, bye.